Well, hey, everybody, this is Robert, and welcome to Outbreak News TV. And on today's news brief, we're going to take a look at infections you can get from dogs. Now, people and dogs, this is a relationship that is nearly as old as time itself. They're the protectors of our homes, pulling our sleds, finding missing people in rubble after an earthquake. Dogs have been invaluable to the human race. However, dogs are indeed animals, and exposure to dogs has the potential for a plethora of infectious diseases. And in this short video, I'm going to give you a summary of possible diseases and the routes of infection. And let's go ahead and start out with bites. And the first organism is Pasteurella. Dogs have a diverse bacteriological flora, and many infections are polymicrobic in nature. Pasteurella is one bacterial infection. We mostly see it in cat bites. That's where it's most common, but sometimes we do see it in dog bites. And this bacterial infection, if it's not treated in a timely way, it can lead to cellulitis, and it can spread to cause serious systemic infections in the body. The next one we're going to look at is capnocytophagia. It is for the most part considered an opportunistic pathogen, causing little problems with healthy individuals, usually causing the most severe disease in those with predisposing conditions, splenectomy, chronic alcohol abuse, or immune system problems like steroid therapy, blood malignancies, and AIDS. People without a spleen are 30 to 200 times more prone to die from bacterial infections caused because the spleen produces cells that become antibody-producing cells. Also, the spleen is integral in sending out macrophages, and these are cells that engulf and destroy foreign substances like bacteria in the blood. The clinical illness is typically one of severe septicemia, shock, and disseminated intravascular coagulation, or DIC. Other manifestations of the disease include cellulitis, gangrene, meningitis, and brain abscesses. Now, capnocytophagia can also be transmitted from the saliva, from the lick of a dog if on an open wound. An infection with capnocytophagia carries a 27% chance of being fatal. So it's very, very serious stuff. And next is something most of us are familiar with, and that's rabies. Now, dogs that have rabies usually appear aggressive. Initially, like many diseases, the symptoms are nonspecific: fever, headache, malaise. Now, this may last several days. At the site of the bite, there may be some pain and discomfort. Symptoms then progress to more severe, like confusion, delirium, abnormal behavior, and hallucinations. If it gets this far, rabies is nearly 100% fatal. Dogs can also transmit to humans bacterial diarrheal diseases like Campylobacter. Campylobacter jejuni is a cause of canine diarrhea. Studies have shown an association between humans and close contact with sick puppies. Another bacterial diarrheal disease is Salmonella. Dogs can act as a reservoir for human infection. Canine Salmonella usually consists of fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. However, many dogs can shed the bacteria in their feces asymptomatically. People get infected the same way as they do with Campylobacter, basically the fecal-oral route. And then there's parasitic diarrheal diseases like Giardia. Giardia, of course, is a protozoan parasite. And this can cause diarrhea in dogs, and some studies have shown carrier prevalence in dogs of up to 25%. And then there's the parasitic roundworm, Toxocara. This parasite can be spread to humans by ingestion of eggs from the soil or from contaminated hands. Most at risk are young children under 5 years of age, especially those with a history of eating dirt and exposure to puppies. Human infection with Toxocara usually takes in one or two forms. Visceral larval migraines, or VLM, this is where the larvae migrate aimlessly. They usually end up migrating to the liver, but almost any tissue can be invaded. The other more rare disease is ocular larval migraines, or OLM, where the larvae enter the eye and can cause permanent vision damage. Then there's superficial infections, like ringworm. Ringworm, of course, is a fungus. And the most common fungi of dogs to cause ringworm in humans is Microsporum canis. Up to 30% of human cases of ringworm in urban settings are estimated to be animal in origin. Dogs can also bring certain vectors into the house that can infect humans. Fleas and ticks are two examples. And fleas and ticks can carry diseases like serious diseases like Rocky Mountain spotted fever, the plague, and Lyme disease. And these ectoparasites can bite and infect the human dog owner. And then there's sarcoptic mange. Now, canine scabies is transmitted to humans. However, most authors believe that the mites cannot complete their life cycle in humans. It's a different species of mite that cause scabies in humans. But you will itch a bit and they will eventually die off. Now, this short presentation is merely a summary of potential infections you can get from your dog. There are many more that I could have included, including leptospirosis and the tapeworm echinococcus. But of utmost importance, make sure you keep the animal's rabies vaccinations up to date. And I appreciate you watching this news brief today. And if you like this channel, please subscribe to it, Outbreak News TV. Like the video, comment below, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time on Outbreak News TV.